everyone, and welcome to Hult's latest episode of Expert Talk, the podcast where we take a deep dive into the ideas, people, and innovations shaping the future of business. Today's episode is all about funding and finance, navigating investments, and growth strategies. My name is Lee-Ann, and I'm studying at the Hult International Business School, currently pursuing a master's in management. I'm joined today by Professor Paul Ahn, who is a Hult Professor for Accounting and Finance. Professor, why don't you give our audience a quick introduction about yourself and the role that you're currently in?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Paul Ahn, Professor of Practice in Accounting and Finance here at Hult, Boston. I come from a researcher practitioner background, so I spend a lot of time bridging what we teach in the classroom with what actually happens in the real world. I teach across accounting, finance, and investment. Over the past few years, I've been fortunate to receive Faculty of the Year awards in both our Master's Finance and BBA programs. I also serve as a principal faculty for the Hult CFA affiliation program, where we help students connect academic learning with the industry expectation. Before joining at Hult, I spent about 13 years working as a portfolio manager at investment banks, managing roughly $1.2 billion in assets. And I'm also a CPA, so I look at finance from both a market and accounting perspective. I'm really excited to be here today and to chat about how finance is changing, especially when data and AI and what students and professionals can do to stay ahead in this evolving landscape.
Thank you, Professor. Before we jump in, just a quick reminder that this session is going to be recorded. So if you need to leave at any point, don't worry, you will be able to access the full conversation afterwards. To kick things off, I think it will be great to open the conversation by looking at the impact that data, analytics, and AI have made across the financial sector. So, Professor, we know that technology is accelerating the pace of change in finance, but what does this practically look like in terms of how investment and growth strategies are being reshaped in global markets?
Yeah, absolutely. When we talk about technology accelerating finance, one of the biggest changes is how AI is reshaping the assumptions behind the financial models. 10 years ago, financial analysts spent days just gathering data to estimate revenue growth or margins. Now, AI can scan market trends, competitor filings, macro data, even consumer sentiment in minutes, making forecasting and valuation much more dynamic. Practically, this changes how investment strategies are built. Instead of relying on static budgets or slow-moving models, firms can update projections almost in real time. If inflation shifts or a competitor launches a new product, assumptions can be adjusted immediately, which allow for faster and more informed decision making. For students and professionals, this means the fundamentals still matter. You still need to know how to build the three financial statements or DCF models. But the expectation is that you can enhance those models with the AI-driven insights. For example, AI might help identify consumer behavior patterns when projecting revenues or flag supply chain risks earlier when estimating cost. I see this regularly in my Hult classroom. Students working on valuation or forecasting project ask a question like, how can AI refine our revenue assumptions? Or can it improve working capital forecasts? Those conversations are important because they shift the focus from just building models to improving the quality of the predictions. And that's really what employers are looking for now. People who can combine strong financial fundamentals with the modern analytical tools. Investors expect faster insights, more accurate forecasts, and assumptions they can trust. AI isn't replacing finance, but it's strengthening its foundation and transforming how we value companies and build strategies in today's markets.
Thank you for setting the scene for us, Professor. This actually connects really well to my own experience at Hult. I just very recently worked on a live business challenge with the company Intuit, which is responsible for QuickBooks. Our task was to develop an AI-driven strategy to support small business owners with digital tax reporting. And for me personally, it really showed how much automation and AI tools can simplify accounting processes and speed up decision making in practice. Following on from that, I think it's clear that the finance sector will continue to evolve and rapidly in line with changes we are seeing in the AI space. So, Professor, as a finance expert at Hult, what advanced skills and knowledge should graduates and professionals focus on to remain competitive and ready to lead in today's data-driven financial industry?
Oh, sure, absolutely. As a finance continues to evolve alongside AI, the skill set required to lead in this industry is expanding rapidly. To remain competitive, graduate and professionals need a balanced combination of advanced analytics and sound judgment. At Hult, both our undergraduate and postgraduate students work extensively on real business cases, using financial analytics tools and platforms to evaluate investment opportunities, manage risks, and drive sustainable growth. For example, in valuation and portfolio project, students analyze real company data, assess capital structures, and make evidence-based recommendations, and mirroring the decisions analysts and managers make in global financial institutions. Equally important is developing deeper technical capabilities in data analysis, risk management, and understanding how AI and analytics enhance financial decision making. How do students learn how AI can help identify hidden risks, such as supply chain disruptions or currency exposure, while also recognizing that these tools support rather than replace human judgment. Finally, the most critical skills are often most human ones: critical thinking, ethical judgment, and clear communication. For instance, when analytics suggest aggressive earnings assumptions or riskier leverage to boost short-term returns, students are challenged to question whether those decisions align with the long-term value creation and stakeholders' trust. In a data driven financial environment, true leaders are defined not just by their ability to analyze numbers, but by their capacity to interpret insights responsibly, communicate them transparently, and make principled decisions under uncertainty.
Thank you for sharing, Professor. Well, from my own studies, I've definitely seen how important it is to combine financial fundamentals with data and analytical thinking. Working on real cases, such as the business challenge I was just mentioning before, has helped me become much more confident in using digital finance tools and understanding how technology is reshaping traditional accounting and finance roles in business. Building on this topic, what would you say? How can students and professionals combine their human strengths, just like ethical decision making and creativity, with advanced technology to upskill and deliver high value outcomes?
Yes, Rian, that's a great question. At Holt, we really emphasize that technology should amplify the human strengths, not replace them. In our finance courses, students use analytics platforms and AI tools to support their decisions, but they are trained to lead with their own judgment. For example, when students analyze a company or build an investment case, AI can highlight patterns or risks based on the historical data. But the students have to interpret the result, challenge the result from the AI, and make the final call. To help avoid the ethical pitfalls of over reliance on AI, we use a teaching approach that blends human in the loop practices with the reflective the learning. Students must validate AI outputs, cross check assumptions manually, and document their reasoning. This ensures they are not just pressing a button, but they are understanding why the insights matter and how to apply them responsibly. Trust is a key part of this. As models become more automated, we teach students how to question anomalies, identify bias, and bring the ethical awareness into the process. It keeps the human firmly in control of the decision making. And more broadly, technology really becomes a tool that frees people to operate at a higher, more creative level. When AI automates routine tasks like scanning files or running repetitive analysis, it gives teams more room to think strategically, innovative, and focus on the part of finance where human insights matters most. So, when you combine ethical thinking, creativity, and strategic judgment with the power of advanced technology, students and professionals can deliver outcomes that are not only smarter, but far more responsible. That's the direction modern finance is moving toward.
Thank you, Professor. So, building on what you just said, I would like to ask you how AI can be positioned as a growth tool for financial professionals today. Do you have any thoughts on this?
Oh, yes, absolutely. That's also a good question. And I think framing AI as the growth tool is exactly the right way to look at it at Hult. We really bring this to life through our challenge-based learning structure. In my finance courses, students don't just study theory, they apply it in real business scenarios. For example, when they build portfolio model projections, AI helps them analyze risk and return trade off more efficiently in a complicated spreadsheet model and spot diversification opportunities that might be missed through the manual analysis in the portfolio models. For other case, in our the stock investment challenges, students use AI-driven market insights to track sentiment, compare companies, and test their investment thesis in real time. And in the derivatives trading challenge, AI tools help them simulate hedging strategies and evaluate how different market shocks impact others' pricing. These hands-on experiences show students how technology can uncover growth opportunities and strengthen decision making. We also address the concern many people have about job displacement. What we emphasize is that AI actually augments the human ability. It takes care of routine analysis. So finance professionals can focus on higher value work, the interpreting insights, developing strategy, and communicating decisions. In other words, AI doesn't remove the human roles, it elevates it. So when students learn to use analytics and AI effectively, whether in the portfolio construction or trading simulation or strategic market analysis, they become much better positioned to identify growth opportunities and deliver real value for organizations. And that's exactly what we aimed to develop at Hult.
Professor Paul, you've shared some fascinating insights into the future of finance and how technology will shape roles and expectations. But for our audience listening today, what practical steps can they start implementing tomorrow to help them stand out in a finance-driven and tech-enabled market?
Yeah, that's a great question, Lee-Ann, and it's a perfect way to wrap up. If someone wants to stand out in today's finance-driven, tech-enabled world, there are a few practical step-by-step they can start tomorrow. First, get comfortable with the tools that modern finance teams actually use. In my courses at Hult, the students work with a mix of traditional spreadsheet model in Excel and AI-driven tools like ChatGPT or other AI-generated AI software program for research and sentiment analysis to AI-powered forecasting engines. We then bring those insights into hands-on simulation software program like a CME derivatives trading simulation challenge or stock track portfolio management software program, and the use of pitch book for private market analysis. Combining these tools helps students turn data into better financial decisions. The second step, intentionally build your network. Finance is a relationship-driven field, and one of Hult's strengths is our global alumni ecosystem. We host alumni networking events across all campuses, connecting the current students with the professionals from every region and industry. Those conversations often lead to internships, mentorships, and the long-term opportunities. And the third step, embrace a global mindset. Hult's challenge-based learning and international campus rotation system encourages students to collaborate with peers from different cultures and business environments. Whether they are solving a real company problem in Boston or rotating to London or Dubai for a project, students learn to work across borders and bring multiple perspectives into their financial strategies. That global collaboration is increasingly what employers are looking for. So, the combination of experimenting with AI and analytics tools, building a strong global network, and developing the collaborative, the international mindset, that's what really set future finance leaders apart. And the best part is you can start taking these steps toward all tomorrow at Hult.
Thank you for sharing those actionable steps, Professor. It's clear that upskilling with purpose is essential for students and professionals looking to make an impact and remain competitive in the year ahead. I think I can definitely talk from experience because I am currently in the situation of looking for grad schemes and jobs, which are coming up next year. And I don't know about jobs in Boston, but in the UK, you definitely have to apply very, very early. And it's definitely not easy to get your foot in the door, especially in the finance industry, where you have a very competitive market of incredibly intelligent and smart people knowing definitely what they're doing when it comes to finance and accounting. And I'm always questioning myself, what type of value proposition can I offer in order to receive one of these grad schemes or one of these jobs? So your tips were definitely very helpful, especially when it comes to the alumni network.
Of course, Lee-Ann. Once I asked the AI whether it could predict a stock price, and its answer was honestly no. AI can analyze the massive amounts of past data and recognize the patterns and project them forward. But it doesn't truly create and it doesn't live with the uncertainty the way humans do. And finance, at its core, is a discipline defined by uncertainty. So my one piece of advice is this: use AI and technology as powerful tools, but never outsource your judgment. AI can give you enormous amount of information, but you are the one who must interpret it. You are the one who must decide what matters. And you are the one who must act at the right time. Stay present. Think independently. Invest in quality and adaptability. And remember that the future isn't just predicted, it is shaped by disciplined decisions made today. The only way to predict the future is to create it from today. Abraham Lincoln.
Thank you so much, Professor, for making this such a valuable and insightful conversation. I definitely learned a lot during these 20 minutes already. It's a very valuable experience for me personally, as I'm also going into job interviews and assessment centers. And I'm definitely trying to see what differentiates me from other candidates, or especially from an AI who's offering so many different opportunities. And I'm always thinking, can I actually offer the same value proposition or even more? But hearing now from you that this is like a very complex ecosystem that you have to be part of is definitely showing me that I can be getting these jobs, or that I should definitely try to see AI as a foot towards this door that I want to get into. So
Right.
thank you very much for sharing all of your insights, and also thanks to our audience as well for joining today for this Expert Talk episode. As I mentioned earlier, today's session will be available to rewatch on demand on our YouTube channels, so feel free to revisit or share it with someone who might find it very useful for themselves. If you want to find out more about how it prepares its students to lead in an AI-driven world with the skills and the global network to last a lifetime, you can visit our website, hult.edu, to learn more. Personally, for me, and also I think I can also speak for Professor Paul, we're wishing you all the success as you navigate this exciting opportunity of an AI-shaped world. And we're thanking you so much for listening today. Bye, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, Lee-Ann. I really enjoyed the conversation today. It was a pleasure to be here, and then thank you for having me. And I hope our discussion was helpful for everyone listening.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.